Yo, what up, party people? It's your boy Hakim Green, channel live and direct, BDP, all day, every day, bringing you episode 40 of IZM Sports. Man, it's a big show. It's number 40, 4-0. We've been putting in that work. I want to say a big shout out, peace, love, and thanks to the boy Wes Henderson, Uncle Spliffy, and KG, and together. We've been, trudging through and just trying to bring you this sports conversation week in and week out. And so far, so good. Big shout out to everybody that joins in and checks in with us. D Parks, no doubt. What's my man? Yulan, Coach Eric Harriel, big shout out to him. Art, Pearl, Tasha, Barbarita, Peanut, Jamal, same person. Art, everybody that tunes in, week out to support IZM Sports. We truly appreciate it. I want to give a special shout out and thanks of appreciation to the homie Mike L., the designer and creator of the crown I'm rocking right now, the IZM crown. Want to give a shout out to him. You guys can follow him at iSkateNYC. Checking what he's got going on. And for your IZM crown, you can go to madism.info. You hit the merch link, takes you over to Shopify, and you can see the different designs and colors that we got for you. You see we got colors and designs. You got the IZM crowns popping off. So go over to madism.info. Hit the Shopify merch link, and it'll take you right there so you can get your fresh IZM crown and be in style. You know what I mean? When you tune into IZM Sports, you can be rocking your IZM crown. That just makes everything work perfect, right? So yeah, that's what we're doing. It's IZM Sports, episode 40. I'm waiting for the homie Spliffy to hop in the building. Wes is on deck. He's handling some things out in Houston. They've been dealing with a major windstorm. So he's having some technical difficulties, but he's going to get it together. And in the meantime, in between time, what we do is we're going to throw up a video. Give me a chance to invite people to the conversation. Hopefully, Cliff would have made his way into the green room by then. And we can start this up. I'm going to play the Cypher, which dropped last Monday. No, Monday before last. Yeah, the Monday before last. Right after Versus, right after the Big Daddy Kane versus KRS-One versus, I hit Jokers off with the Cypher featuring KRS-One, where, he does his thing, how KRS-One does it. Produced by Ron Lawrence, big shout out to him. Mixed by Domingo Beats, big shout out to him. The whole crew, the IZM family, no doubt. But here we go. The Cypher featuring KRS-One.
This stuff is really fresh. Hey, yo, what is a Cypher? Hey, yo, what is a Cypher?
What's it called? It's called the Cypher.
What?
It's called the Cypher.
We can build a Cypher.
The Cypher is a circle with all points connected. Where you get your boogie off and the weak and disrespected. The Cypher is so sacred, takes place on hollow ground. B-boys seek to battle on a mission to follow sound. Beatbox DJ, banging on the table is the way we settle beef since the days of Cain and Abel. Ask Pop Master Fable, the jams of DMC. With DJs battle for world supremacy. The Cypher's not always round, but always on the square. Breakers be on the ground, but I'm gonna put the weed in the air. The Cypher's like the wheels of steel and scratch, it makes me itch. I get hyper with the lyrical skills when the DJ catch my pitch. When the fader's being switched, everything live in the mix, but still off the cut like I wear it on my wrist.
What is a Cypher? What is a Cypher? The cipher, the cryptic writer, the mind igniter. I'm a rhymer designer, a line after line of rhymer. See, I'm an 80s rhymer, the crazy kind of you can't phase me rhymer. I write raw shit like I'm writing no baby diapers. I blaze these ciphers with basic shit. Savage, I'm one that killed for 8 type shit. Hit after hit, all classics, spit in the grit. You talk that hickory dick, you getting lickety split. This what you get, you ain't taking nothing from me. The goat that steps to KRS is the goat that's getting curried. Brain matter, I'm the original face slapper. It's been so many years, you must have forgot we used to chase rappers. Now I'm bust on these nappy headed hoes, I must. You ain't bad boy, talk big, get your eye popped. That fake shit's not us, you know how fresh Chris is. Career killer, I write death sentences. Hey, 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 yo, what is a cipher? Hey, hey, yo, what is a cipher? What is a cipher? What is a cipher? What is a cipher?
Time is of the essence, every breath another second. I'm down by martial law, fighting through the game like Tekken. I ain't got no weapon when I camel walk like Johnny. Ringing bells when I rock the mic is poison like I'm Ronnie. Bob and weave through the dish and pull off in a new edition. Rapping is fundamental, whack MCs be steady riffing. I just stay in my lane when I'm on a scout like Kiffin. Looking for volunteers when there's a drought, I'm in the kitchen. Cooking up some special treats, not talking trout when I'm fishing. I cruise through a hunt with heavy clout when I'm on a mission. I'm special with the verse, every line in education. While I wrestle with the verse, I rhyme in meditation. Standing on one leg, balanced on a lotus, but still packed an eye for judgmental niggas who ain't the SCOTUS. You can roll with this when you done past the lighter. Rhymes going counterclockwise around the cipher.
What is a cipher? What is a cipher? What is a cipher?
Yeah, that was The Cypher featuring KRS-One, produced by Ron Lawrence. Amin Ra Lawrence, no doubt. Hitman fame. Produced Hypnotized for Biggie. I mean, just Google it, brother. He's got like crazy catalog, you know, and well worth, you know, plugging into what he's got going on right now. Ron Lawrence, filmmaker as well, produced a wonderful documentary about, you know, the beginnings of hip hop culture outside of the Bronx. It's called Founding Fathers. Definitely check in with that. But he's a legend, brilliant brother in so many ways, and have the pleasure of working on this project with him. It's called Aubrey. And you know, it's entirely produced by Ron Lawrence. 10 joints on the project, and we getting it together. Got some pretty solid collaborations, some A-listers, if I should say so myself. It's phenomenal. So yeah, I'll let y'all wait and see how that's gonna come along. Yeah, but you know, this is Matters in Sports, where we discuss, you know, what's hot in the world of sports and entertainment. You know, NBA season kicked off. It's, you know, trudging along, so to speak. And of course, we got the World Series just kicked off, and we're in the middle of the NFL season. So with that said, I'm gonna bring on my two co-hosts, KG from the legendary Naughty by Nature.
What up?
The Spliffy.
What's up, yo? What's going on, guys?
Yeah, so West is it's a windstorm out in Houston. They're catching it bad with the wind, so he was having problems with his internet.
Okay,
It's gonna be a second, but hopefully he can catch us before we break out. What's up, guys?
Ain't nothing. What's going on, guys? What's up with y'all?
Everything's
chilling.
Everything's good, man. Cannot complain at all. It's been a
You could a little bit.
controversial week.
You could a little bit. You could a little bit. We're gonna start off with your Lakers, man. You can complain a little bit.
Hey, man,
up and down, man. Up and down from the gate, man. What was up last night, man?
It's Russell Westbrook, bro.
Yeah,
it's Russell Westbrook, bro.
Yeah. He put up points, but all them turnovers, man. Like,
10 turnovers is not gonna do it. And there's just a flow of the game that's hard to establish with this guy. Because my fear with him is he plays so out of control. He plays so without purpose every time up the floor. It's like he has the ball. He's just making it happen, which makes him a dynamic player. But then that's like a gift and a curse because, everybody got 4 other people on the court. They got to be on the same page, Russ. You got to, and then to see the types of turnovers he was making, I mean, it was just like inexcusable. Throwing it to nobody, throwing it back court damn near. Oh, man, it was not a good look.
And all of that led to that frustration at the end of the game. But again, you can't give up a 26-point lead either way. Now, as far as Russ and the Lakers, I'm not too worried about it because if you look at Russ's history, the early parts of every year when he's traded, it always looks like this. Everybody's saying, what's going on with Russ? Nobody can really fit in. There's no cohesiveness. There's no chemistry. But they figure it out. And you got LeBron on the team, they'll figure it out. But what they can't figure out.
I'll let you ask you a question, though. When you say they always figure it out, OKC, Houston, Washington Wizards, they never figured it out.
Well, I'm talking about compared to the Russ at the beginning of the season and the Russ at the end of the season. Because if you look at the Wizards last year, they were at one point 15 games below 500. And that's when Russ was the team was sort of figuring them out. And then they finally got on the same page. And then the Wizards just took off. They won like 20 out of 25. And it just seems like it always happens that way with Russ because, again, the team has to learn how to play around him or, incorporate him and his style into – and I think the Lakers is not going to have a problem. Once they have their full squad back, once everybody gets comfortable with playing with each other, I think, there won't be a Russ issue. But you hit the nail on the head. Those 10 turnovers is what led to them coming back from down 26, which led to the end of the game frustration. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, in theory, that's at least 20 points in theory.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what if a couple of those are 2 or 3 point plays? Now those are basically 23, 24 points. So that alone is the comeback. That alone. So, man, I mean, it doesn't all fall on him, but, man, primarily it does. You the point guard, man. You got 10 turnovers, man. It does fall on you. And then you back in OKC, you back where you're against your old team and all of that. You're probably trying to play hard. The pressure's on you already coming with the Lakers. And then on top of that, being in OKC, man, he was pressing a little too hard, man. And that's strictly on Russ. I mean, you got to say, man, it's totally on him, man.
The thing that scares me the most about him, it's not him being able to put up numbers and him being able to produce. It's when you get in the crunch time and you get in those key moments where it's all about decision making and having the cool head. And I just would like to see him, show some of those characteristics early enough. Like we can't afford to wait to the playoffs for him to figure that out.
Well, one thing you can say is that down the stretch in those crucial moments in his playoffs, LeBron gonna have the ball in his hand. Trust me.
Exactly.
It ain't gonna be Westbrook.
It ain't gonna be Westbrook at all. He's not gonna be in those situations, but I think they'll figure it out. I think, they'll figure him out. And I think by mid-season, if they keep their health, they'll be balling. That's what I think.
Speaking of health, what do you think is up with LeBron and his ankle?
I don't know. You got to hope it's just soreness. I know that. You got to hope it's not something serious. But, because he doesn't usually, he usually plays through whatever he's feeling. So for him to be taking, injury break this early, you got to be concerned that it's not nothing.
I think it's nothing. I think what it is back in years past they didn't have nobody, so they were pushing and trying to push it through. Now they got a team. They're trying to figure it out. He's like, you know what? Russ can run the point. This would be perfect time for him and AD to get a chemistry together, figure it out. So I could take some games off at this point, because what they're really, really trying to do is stack and be ready for the playoffs more than anything. So they're like, okay, if I can get my rest now, with a small injury instead of playing through it, it's fine while, everybody else starts figuring it out. I think that's more or less what it is. If Westbrook and they weren't trying to figure it out, LeBron will be playing through that right now.
Well, I mean, I've been hearing on a few of the shows that, at what point does it become time to move Russ? Do you try to make a trade and get somebody else in there?
I can't see that happening. I can't see that happening anytime soon. I mean, you gotta come on. What we 4 games in, 5 games in? You know what I'm saying? You gotta at least play, try to develop some chemistry, and then see where you go with it, because you have the supreme talent. It's just a matter of fitting it all in and making it work, getting your rotation straight. And again, they don't have their full complement of players right now, so they can't even do that. But I think when it's all said and done, they'll be fine.
I think so too. I don't think you panic at this point. It's not the best fit from the team overall, but at the end of the day, like Clip said, you got the supreme talent. So it's all about figuring out there, getting all of the guys on the same page. It's going to take, games in a little while to do that. So I don't think they're going to try to move them. I just think because at the end of the day, man, when you got the talent and you got the most talented guys on the court in the playoffs, I mean, your chances are definitely higher. Right. So not saying you're going to win, but your chances are higher. We
got some talented older gentlemen on the court.
That's true. And I mean, younger cats is going to push them to the limit. They are, but those guys, I mean, those are professionals. They're NBA players, man, at the end of the day, man. So, LeBron's older, but he's still getting up and down the court. It ain't like he out there on his last leg at the end of the day. He's not on his last leg. Everybody, the way, to me, honestly, the way that team to me should be, and it seemed like it's built, is that they got so many people, so nobody does a lot. Everybody does a little, so nobody does a lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're putting the ball in the hoop. They're offensively, I think they're rated 11th.
They just can't stop nobody.
They can't stop nobody.
They can't stop nobody. But again, that all comes with playing with each other. See, what the Lakers is going to have a problem with, because the age, unless you get to the playoffs and the injuries creep in or people are overplayed, is the only way it's going to be a concern to me. Because the age come playoff time turns to experience, comes to wisdom, turns to know-how, turns to these cats know how to get it done. So if they can get there with their age intact, they'll be good. See, the problem is starting off like they are now, where you win a game, you lose a game, you win a game, you lose a game. Because again, at the end of the season, you don't want to be a 7th seed. You don't want to be an AC. You don't want to have to play a play-in game. You know what I'm saying? So they have to battle figuring out their rotation, getting Russ acclimated, and the whole 9, but also winning games. They also want to stay at the top of the Western Conference.
True.
Well, bringing up the standings.
Also, and another thing too, real quick, Hop, it's just like, when you get to the playoffs, the game's going to slow down. Also, you playing the same team. It's not a whole different team every night. So if you get cooked, let's say like the other day, even though they beat Memphis, Ja cooked them. But if it was a series, game 2, they would have zeroed in on Ja. Ja wouldn't have did that game 2. You know what I'm saying? So they would have made somebody else do it. So that's the difference when you get to the playoffs and you plan a series versus just playing a team in the night out, because any night somebody can cook you and you don't, it's a snowball effect. They just killing you that game, but in a series, they got to cook you basically 4 games straight. And, you know, most of the time it ain't really going to happen unless you know, KD. Like KD might be the only one that probably can do that to anybody, to be honest. And maybe Giannis at this point.
Yeah, but you know, it's that effort on defense, especially. You know, that effort that you want to make, you want to get stops. You know,
you do. But look at what
you want to cover. You want to make sure you're in position.
Right. And it'll come together because look at what they did coming out. The emphasis they put on Steph the first game. Look at that. Look what they did with that. You know what I'm saying? He had a triple-double. He had a pretty good game, but it was everybody else that made them win that game, not Steph. So let's say if that was a series, that would be the focus, the same focus. You know, now they gonna have to go night in and night out doing that. I mean, that's what it's about. That's how you win games. I mean, you can't wait for the playoffs. You know, hopefully that's not what they're doing because it could be too late. You end up with a 7th or 8th seed. Now you're up there going against the Clippers or going against, Phoenix or going against Utah in the first round. It could be tough.
Yeah.
But Utah looks like monsters. I ain't even gonna front.
Yeah.
So, you know, what's Melo giving you guys right now? Yeah, that one game, 28 points, and
Melo out there like a black hole, man. Every time Melo get the ball, he shoot. He don't even pass. Yo, I'm talking about like literally. It don't. I swear to like every single time. If you watch him, once the ball comes to him, just get out the way, or maybe just start going back to get on defense because he letting it go.
Wow, that can't be a good thing.
That's not good, yo. It's not good. Like I watched him 2 games straight. One game he was getting his off the game they won, the Memphis game, but the other games, like it's the same thing. I was just like, let me watch it. Am I bugging? Like, do he just do it and then saw him again? I was just like, yeah, Melo do not pass the ball. Like it come to him, it's out of there.
Yeah.
He's trying to lead that second unit and trying to be the scorer of that second unit. And again, with these guys trying to solidify their roles and really get a rotation going, I think there's this period of time where they just trying to search for their identity. And Melo's like, I'm going to be the scorer in this one.
Definitely. or basically like, yo, I know when all those other guys come back, my minutes is going to go down. They're going to let me get these shots up now and try to give you some buckets and show coach that I can get some buckets. Because when Wayne Ellington and Kendrick, none of them come, Melo minutes is going down.
True.
So just to discuss the standings in the West, got the Warriors at number 1. Wow. Let's talk about the Warriors and just how they turned things around from last year and the year prior with Clay being out, with Steph being out, coming back off injury last year, getting his thing together, fighting their way in the playoff games in the playoffs last year to being, the top of the West right now, top of the West standings. It's like, is it all good?
Yeah, it is all good. What it is you're talking about the last 2 years of losing, but the young guys learning how to play and learning how to win under Draymond and Steph and Clay and them in practice, Steve Kerr, that whole staff, all of those young guys learning how to play and falling into the system. If you look at it, I'll be watching, and then even with Andrew Wiggins, him even learning and knowing his role now.
Yeah.
But if you watch them, it's the same offense they've always been running, man. And those guys have bought into it and just say, you know what, we're going to run the same stuff and do the same thing that those guys were doing when they were winning. But at the same time, now you have guys that can also contribute now. Jordan Poole and all those guys that can contribute now to what it is that Steph and on Draymond and all of them bringing. So now you got a younger core that's ready to ball, man.
Yeah, it's a carryover. It's a carryover from last year because again they had to play that play-in tournament, and they played well. But if you look at how Steph towards the end of last year, when he was elevating his level of play, mentioned his name was all over the MVP conversation. It was the last 20 games of the year, And that's when the team really start developing the chemistry. And like you said, Kay, all these young cats, were playing with that injury-riddled team the 2 years prior, and all they've been doing is learning how to play together, building chemistry, and getting that burn. Because now, they ready rock. And they really like cat like Poole. I mean, he's killing them. So they haven't, they're more than ready for when Clay comes back, because they got a second unit, they got a rotation, and they got a whole bunch of young cats. I mean, the core three is the oldest of all of them. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Like, they got a nice mixture. They bought Iguodala back, so they got a nice mixture of the core guys with the bunch of new fresh guys, man. Like, but they ready, man. Like, seriously, like I watch out for the Warriors, because the Warriors are definitely ready, man. And then like you said, Jordan Poole, he don't stepped up. Damian Lee, all of those guys, man. Like, they got guys over there that can let the ball go. They can shoot. You got to still talk about, they got Wiseman, and then they I forgot the other draft pick that they got last year, the number one draft pick. He ain't even played yet.
Yeah. Golden State looks very interesting this year. It's good to see it.
Well, it'll be. We need to watch them tonight, because they got Ja in Memphis. So and Memphis is coming off. They got beat their last two games actually. Yeah, so they're gonna be hungry. So we'll, this will be a good game. Obviously Golden State trying to stay undefeated, but that should be a good late game tonight.
Yeah. Now we got the Jazz in the second spot right now, and you know what they're bringing to the table. K's like they're the ones to look out for in the West.
They are. They're tough, man. They're tough. I mean, I know that Cliff is the one. That's Cliff's pick. For it, and I agree with Cliff. Like, they're tough. When he said it, I was just like, that is very. When Cliff put in and said that he got the Jazz from the West, I said that's very interesting. And I watched him the other night, and I was just like, Cliff might be on one right there, because the Jazz, they are tough, man.
And Donovan Mitchell hasn't really even had a breakout game yet. He seems like he's not really himself. He
don't have to. They don't have to. They're loaded, man.
Yeah. And it's just the building blocks, because, again, you know how teams mature each year going to the playoffs. And it seems like, 2 years ago is when Utah really, surprised everybody. And then last year people had expectations, but, obviously they fell short. But I think this is the year they take that step forward. But like you said, they loaded, They loaded, and they can shoot the three, and they play D. So you got a bona fide star.
Yeah, only one team can come out of the West. And, last year it was a big thing where they were talking about the 2K, how nobody uses Utah.
Yeah.
Utah. Like, do we dismiss that frame of thinking this year? You put that to the side?
You have to. I think you have to dismiss that, because if anybody is, watching basketball, like, literally, like, just sit down and watch a Utah game and tell me that Utah ain't balling.
Yeah. Now I watched the game the other night against the Nuggets, which they won. But before Jokic got hurt, man, he was putting it on Gobert, He was putting it on Gobert.
They still would have lost that game, though.
Yeah. But it's as good as Gobert is, defensive player of the year a couple years back. He's touted as one of the best centers. To see Joker just put it on him.
Yeah, but I mean, he's the MVP. He's the reigning MVP, though. You know what I'm saying? You got to give him his props.
Yeah.
You got to give him in that unorthodox style. I mean, I don't think anybody can really DM Joker. I mean, that wide body, that slow movement, that stutter step, that step back, that three. It's like, how do you defend this cat? You know what I'm saying?
The little hook and floaters that he shoots. It just like, you're not going to stop the Joker. And Rudy Gobert is more like a rim protector. He's not really a face-up defender like that. Like, he's not really going to, especially a guy like Joker and all those guys like Embiid and all that. Those guys will get buckets on Gobert. It's just the guards and all everybody else that he helps off coming in. Then he makes it tough on those guys and everything else. And then he's there for the rebounds, but it's not like like they call him the Stifle Tower, but he ain't gonna stop no Joker from getting buckets. Nah, that's not happening. 1-on-1, it's not happening.
That is crazy. So we don't really see Denver doing anything this year.
Well, hold on now. Matthew breaks, because Jamal Murray, he comes back balling.
When
they can really do some things.
When is he scheduled to come back, though?
We don't even know. They don't know. They said the other night they don't even know.
No, just because it's ACL. But initially, early on, they were talking about around Christmas time. But again, you just don't know. But if he comes back balling again with the depth that they've developed, him being out, Porter coming on the whole night, they could possibly do something. But it all depends on when and how he comes back.
It also depends on their standing at that time too, like where they're positioned at.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we need to definitely keep an eye on in the West, because a lot of teams have elevated, so there's a lot of parity in the West. So again, they're just going to be clipping each other off, and everybody's going to have like a similar record, out West, I think. You know what I'm saying? So again, that's where seedings and positions is going to be real key.
I think so too. I don't think it's going to be like a clear-cut number one blowout team that's just like 30 games ahead of everybody. I think it's going to be really tight.
Yeah. How long is Joker expected to be out?
Oh, I don't know.
He probably out a few days. It's probably just a bruise or whatever.
Was it serious?
Huh?
It wasn't serious?
Nah, because he actually worked out like or whatever, and then the coach came to him just like, listen, man, like we're gonna just sit you down. But like any of us playing sports, we know banging knees against somebody, that's gonna hurt, and it's gonna bother you for a few days. I mean, he probably missed about like maybe two games or something like that.
Oh, I never serious.
Depending when they play. Probably take them a good 3-4 days to get back out there.
Yeah, and the West is really funny, like how the standings so far. You got the Warriors 1, Jazz 2, Timberwolves, Mavs, Kings, Trailblazers, Nuggets, Grizzlies.
Come on, man, not the T-Wolves. Like, stop it.
But they got talent. They got talent though. They're gonna give everybody a run.
That's fine, and they will, they'll get somebody way, but come on, man, we're not counting them. I know I'm not.
Well, I'm saying right now, this is how it looks. Now the season just started. We 4 or 5 games in, but right now, this is how it looks. We had a preseason. Right now, this is how it looks. So,
yeah.
All right, so I'm just going down the list here. Oh, Trailblazers. What y'all feel about the Trailblazers? And CJ McCollum averaging like 28 points a game.
They look good.
Yeah.
I saw them the other night as well. Looking good. They look good too.
Well,
I also saw them get ran up out of there the other night as well. So I saw them run somebody up out of it, and I saw them get ran up out of there. But like Cliff mentioned, it's gonna be like that in the West, night in and night out. Like ain't nobody running away with this. But Trailblazers always been a problem and like a thorn in somebody's side, no matter what. And that's what they're gonna be again this year. They're gonna be a thorn in somebody's side.
Yeah.
Well, Nurkic, McCullough, and Dame are finally starting off the season playing together, and then they can get their rotation started. So, and then we also got to watch Chauncey Billups. I mean, see how he obviously got those cats playing, so that'll be a good sign to see them balling and elevate their level of play.
And then also now too, you got that's more in the mix now. And got some within the mix with them now, and let's see what he fully do with them. Norman Powell.
Oh, yeah.
Norman Powell
too, so. Yeah, he can.
Like Trailblazers, like I said, they're gonna be a problem. They're gonna irritate people.
Yeah.
JT says he likes Memphis, so
Memphis. Same thing with Memphis.
But the
Same
problem
with Memphis is
problem
going
with,
to they're going to irritate a lot of people out there.
oh yeah, the problem with them right now is just Dylan Brooks is out. And when he comes back and they hold, yeah, they're definitely gonna be a problem for everybody. But yeah, they got a squad. I like Memphis too.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's bounce
And
over.
then you got to even think too. The other night, when Memphis played the Lakers, they pushed them to overtime. No Dylan Brooks, no Valanciunas either.
Yeah.
So let's bounce over to the East, which is similar in what I said about the West. We got the Bulls, Hornets, Knicks, Heat, Wizard, Hawks, Bucks, Cavs, and then the rest.
What? That's the order of the standing.
That's the order of the standings right now.
Well, obviously, again, it's going to change up slightly, but let's start with the Knicks. The Knicks actually look all right, man.
Yeah. Yes, sir. The Knicks look legit, yo.
Yeah.
They are legit. They're deep.
The Knicks actually look okay, man.
Yeah. Mitchell Robinson in the middle, that big body. That's the only thing that we were missing from like the starting rotation last year because he was hurt, obviously. But then they got Derrick Rose coming off. That's for the second unit. They got a squad, bro.
You got Kimba. You got Kimba in there now, and you got Evan Fournier,
Fournier,
that was a huge pickup, man. Like the Knicks, man. Like, and like I said, I said it earlier. I was just like, the Knicks ain't going nowhere. I still don't think they're not winning no championship, but they're going to irritate a lot of people as well.
And Obi Toppin stepping out too. Kimba.
I think Kimba in New York City. I mean, of course, Carmelo Anthony was big in New York City, but Kimba, I think, is going to be bigger.
Yeah, and he hasn't even put his foot on the gas yet. Like he's just chilling and coasting right now and fitting his way in. But he's gonna start letting it go.
It makes so much sense for him to be in New York running the point, yo.
Yeah.
Well, they got a game tonight against the Bulls, who I guess you said number one, and they haven't lost yet. But that's a team we definitely need to watch because with the addition of Lonzo Ball and
DeMar DeRozan.
DeRozan, they've been balling. I mean, they got a squad, and they definitely will finish, I think, in the middle of the pack, if not the top. The Bulls
right
this year.
They're 4-0 right now.
Yeah, they ball.
Yeah, the Bulls are gonna be good this year.
So Knicks at Bulls tonight, game to watch.
Yeah.
Yo, and your man Caruso.
Oh,
Caruso wants to play for the Bulls now.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
A lot of heart right there.
Yeah, the Bulls are tough out, man. So I'm not sure exactly where they'll land at. I'm not sure, but they're gonna be a tough out. There's a couple of teams that's sitting up in there gonna be tough out. I mean, because you could think about the Bulls. The Bulls remind me of like Charlotte. Like Charlotte's going to be a tough out. Like
that's what I was going to say, bro. Like right now they're in the number 2 spot, and
but they just
amazing, yo.
They have no D though. That's the only problem with Charlotte. They fun to watch, and they're gonna put some buckets on you because Melo, he's back. I mean, LaMelo Ball, he's just back and forth. He's doing his thing, but they're gonna outscore you to beat you. So if you got some D, you can stop them. But yeah, they're a nice, young, exciting team to watch too, no doubt.
Yeah. So, hey, Hawk, run that top 8 down real quick again, because let me see who in that top 8 now who ain't making the playoffs.
Bulls, Hornets, Knicks, Heat, Wizards, Hawks, Bucks, Cavs.
Cavs
ain't making it. Cavs ain't, because the Heat. The Miami Heat got some rough riders. They going places.
Yeah.
All right. So do y'all expect the Celtics to stay at 12, the Nets to stay at 11, and the Sixers to stay at 9?
No, absolutely not. They're coming up. Celtics is the one that could be possibly, mess around and play around too much and not make it up in there. But the Knicks, the Nets is definitely making it up in there. And I think the Sixers are going to make it up in there.
That's the most interesting thing. We should talk about them, because Philly, without, Ben Simmons, it's like, what are they going to be? You know what I'm saying? How far do we really think they can go? Because, again, with him, they're definitely a championship contender, should possibly contend for the East at least. But without him, do they fall into that 7, 8, 9 spot?
Well,
absolutely.
Absolutely. He needs to be replaced.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He does. It does. They do fall down like that, Cliff. They're not. They worst case middle pack. They definitely ain't the upper echelon. They ain't top 5, or top 4, without them and not getting themselves together. They're definitely not top 4.
Can I pose this question? Should Philly be expecting more from Tobias Harris?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't be out there getting 15 points. Like seriously, Tobias Harris got to be 20 plus every night.
He's signed a max deal.
And honestly, he got to be getting that even with Ben Simmons and Embiid out there, to be honest.
Yeah. You a max deal, $100 million man. You gotta put up, more than 15 a game.
He needs to be Chris Middleton.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to be exactly. That's on point. Wes.
Man.
South Orange. South Orange.
Hey, South Orange Community Center used to give some nice games down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Community Center. I used to make a lot of friends down there, KG.
Okay.
So I want to give a big shout out to Russell Westbrook dunk courts. Dunk courts we see. You missed that.
Yeah, I remember those too.
You missed that though.
Speaking of dunk courts, back in the day we go down there.
You missed that whole thing.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, I said it. Russell Westbrook's little dunk courts.
I'm not feeding into your Westbrook 5 games, 6 games in. Every game we're gonna do this.
You know what I'm saying, man?
I get it.
You man is out of control, bro.
Listen,
are you gonna say? I don't even want this.
No, but if y'all want to talk about Westbrook real quick, I'll chime in real fast. I saw some of the highlights. Turnovers is not acceptable. However, the Lakers are giving up 117 points a game. Yeah. So if we want to continue to blame Westbrook for the 117 points a game that they give up, by all means, make them the target. They don't play no D.
Not at all.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
Sure. It's definitely defense.
Yeah.
It's definitely defense. But
Westbrook can't have 10 turnovers.
You can't. But you got to think about it. Westbrook is who he is. Like he's been having high volume turnovers for the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, it's consistent, but what's also consistent is he has historically, in more than one spot, been horrible in Washington, in Houston, in the first 2 months of the season, and then he figures it out and he plays extremely well going forward. So it's only been 6 games.
Yeah, Cliff said that earlier, yo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So
That's true. So we'll see. If he can turn to what Skip called him, Russell Westbrook.
But sports, we don't want to associate ourselves with Skip Bayless. Please let's not do that. There's things about LeBron too that a lot of people might not like. So,
he said he's Westbrook. He plays like a bull in a china shop.
Yeah, but he's been doing that he's been the same way for his whole career. So
quadruple double man.
Yeah, he had a quadruple double yesterday.
I tell you what, man. When it comes down to it, like I said in the series, I think Westbrook is going to be valuable, man. They'll get it together and he'll be valuable because you're going to need dogs when it comes down to that, and he is that. So give or take, good or bad, he's a dog, and you're going to get him playing hard. So
you know what he did last night too? he said he played bad, like most cats don't do. He got in front of the mic and said, "I take that. I was messed up. I can't do that again." So part of being who he is being accountable, and he did it. So he's gonna be all right. I ain't worried about him. I'm not gonna do this every week though, or every game. I'm not gonna do this every game.
If he does it every game, I mean, he's doing it. He's doing it. I mean.
So he's the. I mean, I consider this lazy journalism because he's an easy target. So if you want to do this every day, we can. But there's other reasons why they lost the game yesterday. Oklahoma City's the worst team in basketball.
But it's win or lose. Win or lose.
Yes, but you lose as a team, you win as a team.
No doubt. But win or lose, Westbrook does things that's like, come on, bro. You really know better than that. And he does know better than that, which is why he says, yeah, I messed up. That doesn't erase key moments. Like he can triple doubles, all that. Down the stretch, it's tight. And you can see it in his face. It's tight.
Yeah, but like I said, when he gets to the playoffs, down the stretch and it's tight, LeBron gonna have the ball in his hand. It ain't gonna be Westbrook doing that.
And no, Rondo's gonna have the ball in his hands.
Or Rondo. Or Rondo.
Nah, Rondo needs to have the ball.
Rondo will have the ball in his hands.
Yeah, it'll be LeBron or Rondo, yeah. Because especially if you got to get fouled, LeBron don't want that ball to be fouled. He ain't trying to put that foul line.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But it won't be Westbrook. So
no.
Which is, he'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. I think they will. They got too much talent. And again, they don't even have their whole lineup together right now. They still got some injuries. They'll work it through their rotation. They'll be fine.
When they get Ariza,
you got to think about a team basically not of misfits, but a lot of guys a lot of journeymen on that team and then different places, man. So they all live obviously for a common goal, which is to win the championship. Absolutely. They'll figure it out.
And they're getting killed at the spot where the young people like T. Horton and Ariza and Ellington, even Nunn, they can play defense at those positions that they get smoked. They getting smoked at the same spot every night.
Yeah.
So we'll see what. But Frank Vogel, let's talk about that. I mean, he's a defensive guru. They giving up 117 points a night. What's going on?
Yeah, but I think it's tough. I think it's tough because again, you don't have your full complement of players. You don't have a rotation set, and then you got these little nagging injuries, and it's just he's not really sure who he's going to play and how he's going to play him. I think, but
I think part of it too is Westbrook changes the way the Lakers play because he's a lot faster, so he's speeding the game up. So the possessions are faster. So if he's taking the ball out the net and running up the court, the game's moving faster. So the chance of points being higher is going to be up too because now the possessions are moving faster.
They get more possessions in the game because of Westbrook.
Yeah, I think that's playing a part into it too.
Yeah.
And then turning it over while you're doing that doesn't help either. So that allows the points to even come even higher. So
yeah. I do expect the turnovers to kind of come down as they figure out the chemistry and how to play each other in position, spot, all that. They'll figure it out that way. It's just
that was a horrible loss last night. It was Oklahoma City. It was terrible. A horrible loss. It was him going home to Oklahoma City, but that was horrible. You can't lose to the worst team in basketball.
Right, but it's him blacking out at the end of the game, right?
That was frustration, though. That was frustration.
Exactly. It was frustration, but you don't lose your head like that. Like, I expect Russ to do that. That's not even like, he never does that. I wouldn't expect that from Russ. I expect that from Russ.
Well, yeah, he went back home to OKC. You went back home to OKC. You were stomping them out. Everything was happy. You're dancing on the bench. You're doing the Andre Drummond, playing around and doing whatever. And then they come back. Exactly. You're rocking the baby and doing
all that.
And then they come back and they beat you. Frustrated.
Let me tell you, it was 41-19. And I had it on my, I scored it on my phone. I said, 41-19. I was like, they played Oklahoma. I didn't even know they were playing. And I shut it down. Then at the end, I got up this morning and I saw Lakers lost. I said, I didn't lose to Oklahoma City.
Yeah. Wow. And they were up 26.
Yeah,
they were up 26.
It was something stupid. I was like, yo. Then I look at the stats and I saw the 10 turnovers. I was like, let me look at my phone at about 4 o'clock. I said, I know someone's gonna come across the screen sooner or later. It's gonna be Hakim.
You understand, man? I cheer for Russell Westbrook because I hated the way Skip was killing him in OKC. I hated that, and I hated how Kevin Durant threw him under the bus and left OKC, and with that, like I hated all that. So I felt for the brother. Then I sat back and watched. Mm-hmm. And consistently in key moments, he would do something that was just like, come on, bro, you know better than that.
Nah, he had a bad. That was a bad game. It wasn't the shooting stuff I could deal with, but that was a horrible. He was throwing passes to nobody.
Nobody.
He was looking like this one man B Dot. Remember, you know that dude that imitates people, B Dot, that imitates all those players.
Yeah,
he looked like B Dot doing him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad look, man.
Yeah.
Definitely a bad look.
Yeah, it was a bad look last night.
Yeah. So early, we went down the Western standings. The Warriors, Jazz, Timberwolves, Mavericks, Kings, Trailblazers, Nuggets, Grizzlies, Lakers, Knights, Suns, Spurs, and the irony that the teams that we expect to be in a playoff run are at the bottom of the list, and all the teams that we reversed is at the top of the list. It's sort of the same thing in the East Coast as well. It's early, we know that, but are there any other reasons why this is happening? Where we see kind of like a flip in the pecking order of basketball?
Well, Golden State. Let me say this because I know I'm a Steph critic, but I had put Steph as
and a Steve Kerr critic too.
Yeah, I'm still gonna be a Steve Kerr critic because he's, that's what it is. But on the Steph thing, my Steph criticism is not about Steph because Steph is a killer. He's a dog. I just said that when it comes to comparisons, I get a little frustrated where he's ranked because he's half a player, not a complete player. But when he does well, he does superbly well. So he's extraordinary in his greatness. But I picked him as the MVP this year. That was my MVP pick for this year.
Before the start of last season,
yeah,
I thought he was hit a ball.
Hold on, Wes, who you think your MVP pick, Steph?
I picked Steph this year to win MVP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
I expected him to hit a wall,
and
I was so wrong.
When last year?
Yeah, just because of the injuries, and then the game speeds up. His whole game is predicated on speed and running around off picks and catch and shoot. And you got to plant. I just thought that Father Time is undefeated, but he's not that old, I guess.
Well, that's the one thing that Steph said he concentrated on last year was conditioning, and you see he did bulk up. So he added some muscle to that little slight frame.
Yeah, that's the other thing is you carry more weight.
Yeah.
Well, I like him in game one, and I said it in game one, and I think he's gonna be MVP. And they played the Lakers. Is that he had the triple double, so he figured out how to do other things, even though he wasn't scoring because he was 5 for 21 from the floor, but he had 10 boards and 11 assists. Yeah. And that's becoming more like defensively. I'm gonna leave it alone because it's like 3 people in the league that can play defense in the NBA right now. like man up defense. But in terms of him filling in the box scores and doing other things as a leader, he wasn't scoring, but he was still effective and affected the game in other ways. And he could do so much more of that. He could do that every night when you think about it, because he's such a threat scoring from outside, and he's a ball handling wizard. He can if he just decided to not have to have the home run play every time on every assist, and he just made the regular play, Steph could average 10 assists a game, easy.
Yeah.
Well, I think you'll see.
You know what Steph tends to do too, like you said with the home run. He's a little careless with the ball too.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like because he wants to be like he's almost like he's a player, a football player like that too. That's like all or nothing. got to hit the home run or don't want to do nothing at all.
That's
Yeah,
Patrick Mahomes.
It's Patrick Mahomes. Same
Patrick
thing, man.
Mahomes.
Same thing. You don't have to. We know you're great. You don't have to be extra spicy for us to keep thinking you're great.
Yeah.
You can just be good and be great.
Well, the complement of players that Steph has now, he can definitely show off a little bit more flash because those young cats putting it in the hole. I mean, Poole, and when Clay comes back, Wiseman, he has a complement of players that he can run with, that he can definitely don't have to take the brunt of all the scoring like he has in the past. I think, him as an MVP pick, that'll definitely be that's a good pick because they definitely gonna be good. You
know what? It's they got Jonathan Kuminga. They got Kuminga too.
Yeah, Kuminga. That's it. Yeah,
and he's that other defensive guy that can run around with Draymond, and he's long and rangy.
Yeah,
and he's like Wiggins with a motor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So and then and they got shooters, man. They got defenders, like you said. They brought Iggy back just to play defense, to defend somebody. So you got Draymond and Iggy. You still got they picked up Bielisa, a big body that can shoot threes, but at the same time get him a couple of fouls out there. Looney still get him fouls. Wiseman will be able to get another big body in there, get them some fouls. They're gonna be tough, man.
Yeah, I agree. I see it already. I saw it in game one. It only took me one game to watch them play. I was like, they're gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
So before
I just can't wait to see how Steph comes back. That's what I'm really curious to see.
Clay?
I mean, Clay, yeah. I can't wait to see how he comes back because if he comes back even 80%, forget about it. Forget. And he's going to be hungry. And then his D2,
he's going to struggle a little bit on that side of the ball from where he was before, but he's still going to be a competitive defender.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's going to struggle defensively for a minute.
Yep.
So before we bounce over to the East Coast, you want to say any last words about what the West Coast is doing? We have the Jazz at 2-spot, Timberwolves, Mavs, Kings, Trailblazers, Nuggets, Grizzlies, Lakers, Suns, Spurs, Clippers, Rockets, Pelicans, Thunder. We just beat the Lakers. Ain't that something?
I don't know what to say about the Pelicans. I haven't watched them this year yet, but I don't know what to say about them.
Well, there's been no Zion. And it's hard to really measure them without Zion. Ingram has been playing. He's been balling.
Now, Ingram's tough, man.
Yeah, he is. But we're not really going to not know what they're really about until Zion comes back. Does anyone know when he's supposed to come back? Because I know he's recovering from a broken foot, right?
Yeah. I don't know when he's coming back, but they're saying that he even gained more weight right now. He's like 300 pounds. They like,
because he ain't working out.
He's crazy.
Yo, Zion gonna eat his way out the league, man. It's gonna be sad.
Yeah,
it's like there's really nothing he can do about it, though. Like, I don't even know if it's that he's overeating as much as he's not active.
He's not active. He's not doing the right things. He doesn't. He
ain't doing the right thing. I don't care what, man. Yeah. Like he ain't active. But the thing is that you can eat when you active. But if you ain't active, you can't just sit there and eat anything. Mm-hmm. And he's sitting there eating anything. Right now, he's sitting on a couch eating chips, yo.
You think?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He having Funyuns.
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's, whatever he wants, yo.
He'll come right back, drop 35 on you.
Yeah, and drop 35 and 40, and then be out for 2 months after.
Yeah. on the second of the month, he'll drop 40, and you don't see him again to the 5th of the next month.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, so on the East Coast, we got the Bulls, Hornets, Knicks, Heat, Wizards, Hawks, Bucks, Cavs, Sixers, Raptors, Nets, Celtics, Magic, Pacers, Pistons. And again,
the Bulls are good.
Yeah,
they are good.
We got the Knicks tonight.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good game.
Who you got? The Bulls?
I'm gonna go to Bulls, man. I like what they got, man. I just like Levine being the A guy. I like Vucevic being number 2, and then Lonzo being the playmaker. And DeRozan is probably the most dangerous 3-4 guy in the NBA because he has no pressure on him.
Yeah.
He don't got to be that guy no more, and he can just get you 20 just because.
And Kobe White's a beast too. He's not playing right now, but he's a beast too.
From North Carolina?
Yeah.
Kobe White, yeah. I was pushing for the Lakers to pick up DeRozan. I thought that would have been a good pickup for them, man.
Listen, I'm all Knicks, but Craig, that's my boy Craig. Shout out to the Upper Valley, Vermont. That's my boy Craig right there, big Knicks fan like myself. But I don't know, Craig. I don't know if we can do it. I tell you what, if we do get this Vic tonight, though, that's going to tell you who the next upcoming team in the East is to contend for that middle level, because it's either the Bulls or the Knicks.
Yeah,
both of them are really playing like that.
Hey, Cliff.
And the game's in Chicago, right?
Games in Chicago. Yeah.
Speaking of the Bulls and Knicks,
Christmas
1986. Where were we?
I know we went to a couple of those games.
Yeah, wasn't Christmas 1986. We was on the floor of
Knicks Bulls.
Knicks Bulls.
Yeah. I'm pretty. I can't remember what year.
Fast and dunked it on Ewing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were on that fantastic NBA's fantastic commercial. Remember that? Oh yeah, that was the best. Yo.
That's hot right there.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. I don't know how you came like those tickets. He was like, "Yo, what's going on?" I got tickets to the Knicks Bulls on the floor. What's up? Yeah, all right.
Yeah, Knicks Bulls. That was a hot ticket in the early 90s.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who pulled that one off?
I don't know how we got that though. But we went.
You was at the country club, I think.
Oh yeah, it was a country club connect that I got. But we would go, because I kind of remember we would go. We went to at least 2 or 3 Christmas Day games in a row, or something like that.
Nah, maybe you went. I was. I was that. That one. That shit. We were sitting on the other end on the floor, but on the other end of the action. But you saw it plain as day. We was, Gordon steals the inbound pass, just brings up, wow, on you. It's like, oh. That's great memory right there. Thank you, my man. So yeah, the Knicks right now though is looking quite thorough.
Yeah,
they are. They legit. You know what else is legit? The Charlotte Hornets are legit.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah,
we talked about no D though.
They don't play
no D.
Did y'all talk about that dunk that Jaylen Brown had on Miles Bridges?
Yeah.
Ooh, that was special. That was special.
I know LaMelo got like about 5 highlights right now for the season. Like, this dude's passing ability is crazy.
Yeah.
He's special, bro.
Yeah, he can play. Yeah. The Hawks look good too. The Hawks showed you that if they had DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish healthy, they might have been a different squad last year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's going to be an interesting game to watch tonight too, because the Hawks are at the Wizards.
Okay.
Yeah,
and again, the Wizards, a lot of people, we haven't talked about them at all, but a lot of people sleeping on them. But again, you got all those carryover cats from the Lakers that came over there.
Well, the Wizards are up by 11 right now. They're up by 9 right now.
West is not sleeping on the Wizards.
No, I'm not.
Especially now, Kuzma.
Kuz got 7 and 3 right now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. He likes to remind me. He told me Kyle Kuzma.
Caldwell Pope got how much?
Caldwell Pope got 13.
Wow.
Yeah, they gonna play. They balling in DC.
Montrez got 10 points, 9 rebounds. Montrez Harrell.
I might have won my parlay with them then, because I definitely put in a parlay for them.
Yeah, Beal got 17 right now.
Who'd you put with the parlay, K?
Montrez to get over 10 and like over 6 rebounds. Kuzma to get over 10. I had Caldwell Pope to make a 3, at least 3.
He got 3 of them.
Wow. I got Bradley Beal to get over 20.
He got 17, and it's halftime.
You got a nice little prop parlay going.
Yeah.
Parlay.
I'm not really a betting man, though. I'll be betting cents, man.
Yeah,
I'm that guy that go into the slot machines and play penny slots, man.
Yeah.
I'll be betting pennies, man, for real. Like I'll put up and do a parlay and do it for like 25 cents, you know.
That's me in Vegas. I mean, when I went to Vegas playing, I declare war for the $5 table. It's like the only game I understand. I was like, I declare war. Okay, I got that.
Well, let me ask you a question, Cliff.
I just got back. Huh?
What's the odds that the Wizards go further in the playoffs than the Lakers?
I would have to check that, but you got to figure the Lakers are the Western favorites. Yeah. And the Wizards right now, I mean, even though they got a decent record right now, they were picked to finish, I want to say 10th in the East.
I'm about to say they probably have the Wizards not even making a playoff.
Yeah, they weren't even picked to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, but again, you got it. I don't know if all this gonna hold up with the Wizards though, because they're good though. They're solid, but it's just the East is tough. The East is tough.
Yeah, because the Wizards, all the Wizards need is Bradley Beal to be sit out 3-4 games, and then they're gonna tank out.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at go ahead.
And remember, he's unvaccinated, so that could happen.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, even speculation or virus protocol, Bill could be out like that. So again, something like that could derail a team like the Wizards.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of vaccination, KD said yesterday that the Nets definitely miss Kyrie. I mean, what else do you expect them to say? But
yeah.
What do you guys think? Do you guys think that they really miss him? Like, what do you guys think?
Yeah,
I think they definitely miss Kyrie.
Yeah,
especially since James Harden is missing in action.
Oh, is he playing or is he hurt?
He's playing. He's just not. He's not James Harden. For some reason, he's just not that.
Well, they said they saying that because of the kind of sort of the rule changes and what they're doing as far as calling, it doesn't benefit him really now. All those fouls he used to get, all the 3-point things and all that different foul and get to the foul line, do all that. They changed those rules and they pulled it back. So now it's basically he's not benefiting from that no more. You're seeing that.
Wow.
So
he was just a product of the system. So
I don't think he's a product of the system. I think he just utilized it.
He did what they let him do.
Exactly.
And he took it to the limit. And now that they look at the videotape and they said, damn, we look like clowns out here calling these fouls. Yeah. We got to have a referee meeting on this. And they look at all the film and they see all of this and all of this. And they're like, that's not a foul.
No. Yeah. So now he's got to adjust his game.
Yeah. Because there was times he put the ball in people, like he take the ball physically and put it on like in their chest and use them as a barrier, and he get called for they called for the other player.
Yeah, I was telling somebody that I think it was me and my brother. We was talking about that. That's what he do.
Yeah,
he comes through with the ball. He pushes it out in front of you. Basically,
and then goes out.
He pushes you off of the ball. He creates a barrier. Mm-hmm. He creates a barrier, and if you reach for it, then the ref is forced to call.
Yeah.
He just puts the ball in your face, in your chest, and if you don't reach for it, he knocks you out the way with the ball.
Yeah.
He was using the ball as a weapon.
He was definitely the most egregious culprit of all the rule changes in that regard. And his game, you see it suffering. And not only are they not calling it, they're calling it the other way as well. You know what I'm saying? So he can't mess around.
No, he can't. He can't. But he also is in Brooklyn, and without Kyrie there's something that he likes to do also that he's not allowed to do right now, and that's hide.
Mm-hmm.
He loves hide and seek. He can't hide in New York, man. Can't hide here.
Yo, West is treacherous, boy.
No, I'm just saying he's been around 9 years, man. 9 years, same thing. Come on, we gotta stop like coddling. You jumping all over Westbrook for his foolishness. This dude's been doing the same thing. Like, so what's the difference? He hasn't won either. Maybe he's won the championship, right?
I got you, but Westbrook just seems a little bit more erratic and all over the place, and
so you rather have somebody? That's right. So you rather play with somebody that runs for the hills in big moments rather than somebody that leave it all on the floor and make a mistake.
Nah, I don't want somebody who consistently passes to nobody.
But I just want somebody who does that in the postseason.
He does that a lot. Well, he'll go.
No, but when is Westbrook throwing his own away?
What am I going to do? All right, bro. I don't know.
Tell me in the postseason that we've watched Westbrook throw it away, like really, like literally, and let's like without being a critic like Skip during the regular season. When has he done that?
Put himself in moments where he doesn't know what he's going to do with the ball. He jumps in the air and he gets stuck.
No, I get it. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. But I'm saying in the postseason, does he have a moment that we can all put our fingers on and say, man, that's what I'm talking about?
I can't recall them right now, but yeah, he has several of those moments where he'll put himself in a position because he's so gun-ho with the ball.
Yeah,
he'll put himself in a position where he doesn't know what to do with the ball.
I agree with Wes. I can't really put my finger or recall like stuff that was just like straight moments where you just said Westbrook just really just messed that up. Now he's missed shots.
I've seen in the regular season. I agree with everything Hawk is saying. But what I'm saying is this shady gets the man played the postseason every year. He's been in the league. And by himself with Durant, without with Harden, whatever. So I just want to know what that monumental thing is that he's done that's so erratic in the postseason that has just taken his team out the game. I've seen it during the regular season. I get it. And typically it's before the All-Star break. But by the second half of the season, Westbrook's track record is his game is a lot different. But since people throw so much shade at him, they can't even see through it by the time the playoffs come because they already got the narrative drawn up about him. That's all I'm saying.
But overall, Westbrook's tough when the playoffs come around.
That's what I say. But I don't know. I'm just saying. And James Harden, on the other hand, has notorious regular seasons, great regular seasons.
All right, I'm not defending James Harden.
But I'm saying to get to the postseason, it does nothing. But you said I'm treacherous. I'm being just as aggressive on Harden as people are against Westbrook. That's all I'm saying. So
yeah,
that's how I look at it.
I opened up the conversation with Brooklyn by saying James Harden is missing in action, and you asked me what did I mean, and I said that. I didn't say he passing to somebody else.
He doesn't show up, and I agree with that. And you said, and I gave another definition of missing in action, and you said I was being gruff. I'm tough, like.
No, you threw the conversation at Russell Westbrook.
No, that was
the conversation now.
No, that was at first. Okay, that's what I did. Well, I'm sure we'll be talking about Westbrook for the rest of the season, and he is shooting 17% from the free 3-point line. I saw that.
That's horrible.
That's awful. It's egregious.
And the Lakers aren't playing defense. He's not the sole reason why they're losing games.
But he's the most popular topic. He's the easiest target. That's just like that.
Yeah.
And we said that in the beginning of the year anyway.
Yeah, he can't. You can't put all that on Westbrook, man. That's a team effort, man.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Well, they're gonna get a lot of heat coming off this OKC loss. I know that. I mean, don't get it twisted. I mean, because they're playing poorly. He isn't fitting in. LeBron's hurt, and they just gave up a 26-point lead.
What's wrong with LeBron?
They got ankle soreness is what they're calling it.
He twisted his ankle the other night in that Memphis game. No, actually, he didn't play.
No, he didn't play the Memphis.
He didn't play the game before that.
He didn't play against Memphis?
Nah.
I know he didn't play against San Antonio.
Yeah, he missed 2 games. I thought he was going to play against San Antonio. But
yeah.
Okay, so it's just his 3rd game he missed then. Memphis, San Antonio, and Oklahoma City. Got it.
No, wait, they beat Memphis, right?
No. He did play the Memphis.
He played Memphis. They beat
That's
Memphis.
the game that he had. That's the game he twisted.
That's the game that happened, and then he missed. Yeah.
He missed the last 2 games. He didn't miss 3 games.
Okay.
He played the Memphis.
So he played against Memphis.
Yeah, that's the game that it happened. It was like I think it was like a rebound or a defensive play or something under the basket or something that happened. He was the guy, basically the same thing. Somebody rolled against him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I also wonder if him sitting out is about just letting Westbrook kind of get acclimated.
I think it is.
That's what I think it is.
I think it is. It's just like, number one is being cautious and it's saying, okay, then like normally I would play through this. At this point, let's just let Westbrook run it. I'll just take a few days off and give him time to get, comfortable with AD and the team. And I'll just take a few days off and then, I'll be back.
Yeah.
And it's a game I'm sure they thought they can win. OKC.
Yeah. Both of them, actually. They probably looked at the Spurs as a cakewalk, and he looked at OKC. OKC as a cakewalk.
Yeah. That's a good point right there. They were different at the end of that year, too. Yeah. They were real different.
Yeah.
I think the Lakers are going to get it together, man. They're going to get it together.
It's too much talent for them not to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, like it's a bunch of guys that came there to win. So they're going to all come and they're going to say, listen, what is it that I need to do? Let's do this. Let's do that. It's not going to be ego driven. It's not going to be whatever, going on. They're going to just be, it's going to be a band of brothers that's going to come together. Now, whether it's enough to get them a championship, that's different. But they're going to be better than what you're seeing now.
I agree.
What about the health? The health is going to determine. The health is going to determine if they really competing for that chip at the end of the year. And again, with the experience on that team, if they can limp, if they don't have to limp into the playoffs, if they can get there healthy, I like their chances. Because like Kay said, these are cats that are going there for a common goal that. They're going to be selfless, and they're going to do whatever they can to get it. You know what I'm saying? And these are experienced vet cats that know how to play and know what it takes. So, again, it's just knowing your role and being able to fill it. And I think if they get there with health, they should be good.
Yeah. And like I said, it's not like the day in and day out games that you have. You catch a team one night and you catch you sleeping or you catch him sleeping. You playing a series, so you know exactly what the tendencies of each player is, and it's just locking in at that point. And that's why most of the time the experienced teams do win because, they know how to get it done.
Mm-hmm. That's true. So is Brooklyn going through the same struggles, trying to get acclimated with all the new faces they have too?
I think so.
I think so too.
I think so.
And they missing Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? They played a tough schedule too so far, but again, they got to get all those. They got to get their rotation set. They got to figure out how to play with each other and figure out what type of team they're going to play. What has impressed me with Brooklyn, though, they have been playing D. You know what I'm saying? That's impressed me about that squad. But
they have been playing a little bit more.
They have been scoring. They haven't. They got a lot of rotation.
There's a lot of new faces over there too that they got to gel together. LaMarcus Aldridge, Patty Mills, like it's a couple of new guys that's over there that is getting some real run that they gotta start getting. And I was watching the other day, and I was like, dang, I don't think Bruce Brown gets no run no more. And then they was like, he had made the run last year. So they definitely got like changes over there going on.
I'm telling you, the problem the Lakers gonna have is the same problem that Brooklyn's gonna have. When you show the people that beat you, like Phoenix and Milwaukee, how to get it done against you, you're gonna have to smack them in their mouth because both those teams don't fear the other teams anymore.
No. And I saw that the other night. When they played Phoenix again. I just was like, you know what? Phoenix just feel like the Lakers cannot beat them.
They can't beat them. That's how they played. And Milwaukee playing that way.
First game. Yeah, good point, Wes, because you're right. Yep. Milwaukee played the same way.
They're like, they can't beat us.
Scared, y'all.
Yep. Yep. That's what I noticed. And I was like, they're going to have to – those are going to be their Achilles heel. And Golden State, they owned the Lakers last year too. Mm-hmm. They were in a lot of those games with the Lakers. And then, LeBron hit that buzzer beater, to get us to the 7th seed. So it's going to be teams like that with those type of players that got championships that's going to challenge these rosters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
While I was away, did you guys get a chance to discuss the incident between Howard and AD?
Nah, I thought you guys did that already.
And actually, I didn't.
I didn't know what happened, but it just looked crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened either. I mean, obviously something Anthony Davis didn't like because you could see him chasing him basically off the court, and trying to get his attention, and Dwight was ignoring him. But I thought, it was a little bit out of line for AD, to come and stand over him like that. Even to whatever it was, so you can't expect, because if you sitting down, like we all, if you sitting down and somebody's, beasting at you and they standing over you, you're going to stand up because you're not going to want nobody jumping on you, while you just sitting down or swinging on you. So, Dwight Howard had to get up, and when he got up, AD basically put his hands on him, really. So it was just, AD was a little more aggressive. I don't know what started it, but.
Yeah. I agree with everything you said, Kay. I think you're totally right. However, I was happy to see that from AD.
I was too, to be honest, because it seemed like he's saying like, yo, this is my team, dude. And if you can't fall in line, then you out of here. Like straight up. Everybody thinking this ain't LeBron team. This is my team. This is my team, dude. And if you don't fall in line, you're out of here. And LeBron can't save you.
Nope. I love that. That was dope. That was needed. That was needed for AD to claim the team.
Yeah.
A great moment for him, I thought.
I did. I felt that same way, Hawk. The same exact way. I thought he was out of line, but I understood why he did it. He basically was letting him know, listen, dude, this is my team, dude, and you're gonna respect me and you're gonna listen to me, or you're gonna be up out of here.
I think you hit it on the head, man. I think you hit it right on the head.
So now let's see how they respond.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
What you got going on over there, bro?
Your screen. We could hear you, but your screen frozen.
I froze. Yeah. Yeah, I am. I'm back. Yeah. I was frozen for a second. Yep. But now you hit it on the head. Like, we all ask for AD to get a little bit more, leadership, aggression. And, he did that. So as bad as it looked, I'm like, hey, a lot of people think it had a lot to do with the snub. I was going to say, because a lot of people think it has something to do with the snub of the NBA 75, because Dwight Howard didn't make it and AD did. And I don't agree with that part. Because I still think like some of the young dudes that got on, it's still too early. Their resume is still not complete enough. But I think a lot of people with Howard, he leaves a bad taste in people's mouths because of all the teams outside of Orlando that he went to. But when you look at his career in Orlando, he had a career that AD still hasn't had, even though AD got the championship. Dwight Howard took a team with nobody on it on Orlando, and they had no business being in the finals.
Right.
Without him, he was the defensive player of the year 3 years in a row, led the league in rebounding a couple of years in a row, all defensive team 9 times. So he's got things on his resume in Orlando alone that still, to me, outclasses AD, except for the championship.
Yeah.
True.
So, but I'm just saying, but AD is a great player. Don't get me wrong. I just think it's a little early for him. His resume's got a lot more to. It's not complete.
And I can definitely see it be like an internal rift going on with them about that, that list. Because again, one cat makes it, another cat don't. And I agree everything you said, Wes. I mean, Dwight Howard has a resume, and before AD got the championship, he wasn't doing anything like that with that team he had in New Orleans. He was getting his numbers, sure, but that team was going nowhere every year. You know what I'm saying? And what Dwight Howard was doing was Herculean. I mean, he was literally he took those teams. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I agree, and I'm sure it probably had something to do with that. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, but he can't blame AD for that. But I'm sure he was frustrated. But at the same time, let's not forget the championship AD got. Dwight Howard was on that team too.
Yeah,
got a ring on that team. Yeah. So and they were both prime candidates. I mean, they both contributed to it to get that. So yeah, it's a lot to do. Like another thing about the list that was kind of, I think, is a little bit suspect, and you can't have Steph Curry and Giannis having votes. You just can't. Players that are playing shouldn't be voting on this list. And they were the only two NBA players to have a vote: Giannis and Steph Curry.
Why is that?
Yeah, absolutely. I swear to God.
Why is that though?
I have no idea. Like I was listening, Sam Mitchell and on the
NBA
he was complaining. He was saying the same thing. He brought it to my attention. He was like, I can't even pay attention to that list because you had two NBA players that are active and voted. He was like, and people were like, who's that? They were like Steph Curry and Giannis they were the only two players to get votes.
Wow.
So that's another thing. So it's like you can't have people that are still playing vote for this list.
And even a couple of people that was honestly on there. I think it's prisoner of the moment too with some of it too, man, because I got to go back and scan through that list because I know there's some other people like from the 70s or 80s that probably ain't even on that list that put in work and deserve it at this point. And I'm sure they got snubbed as well. And I'm sure there's a couple of people that will, become those top players and become the top 75. But at this point, man, like you gotta wait till it maybe get to a top 100, man, and put them in that list, man. But hey, man, it's all opinionated. And every time you do that stuff, it's only put out really for people to chatter and talk about so they can be on the tip of your tongue anyway. It's just like when everybody always want to come up, what's your top 5 rappers? It's like, come on, man, dude. It's like 500 rappers out. Just so we can.
You okay? Who's your top 5 dead or alive?
I'm not even like that's what I'm saying, man.
You want to know.
I like that.
And that's what I'm saying, because even with that, like I said, it's opinionated. If you ask a dude from Florida, he's going to give you a whole different list, man. Yeah. Like you can't tell me that the dude on Florida grew up on the same music that I grew up on coming out of New Jersey. It's just not going to go that way. Same with LA. Somebody
Chicago.
But I will say, I just did this song with CeeLo Green and Freeway. It's called Culture Freedom. And in the song, Freeway talks about how much Naughty by Nature influenced him.
That's dope.
I gotta let you hear it, yo. It's dope song, real dope song. So,
speaking of Freeway too, shout out to him, man. He just lost his daughter. He lost his son last year, I think. Like, man, it's just crazy. That's tough, yo.
Yeah, that brother right there, just on the side, like, it's so Philadelphia. Such a strong brother, like you said. He lost his son last year and just lost his daughter last week. And,
COVID or just
I think his son got killed. I think his son got killed and his daughter died of cancer.
Man.
Wow. Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, the homicides in Philly are bananas right now.
Yeah, he stays positive. He stays active. He came out to 24 Hours Apiece this past summer.
He did. I saw that. That was dope too. And actually, I'm actually slated to hook up and do some stuff with Freeway. So I'm just waiting, for him to let me know when it's cool for him to come up or whatever. But I'm actually slated to work with him.
Yeah, that's good. That's
good.
See,
Yeah.
Life, love it. But no,
And-
big shout out to Freeway and his entire family.
Definitely, yeah. And on a different note, I see that we didn't talk about no football. I guess that's because the Cowboys and the Steelers was all.
We can still talk football because I put on Facebook today Mike Tomlin with a clap, my hero. Okay,
Right. I'm glad. Let's start the football segment off right there.
and because is a lot of, I knew how people gonna take I saw all the angles how people gonna look at it, and I saw them like from afar. You'd be like, okay, you have people that say, what was he complaining about? That's a compliment. It's USC. It's this and that. But I understood what his frustrations are too, because
I'm sorry, Wes, give the context. Give the
Okay.
context of what happened. And then,
well, the context is him being asked whether he was named as a candidate for the USC job.
Yeah.
Carson Palmer put that out there. Now they immediately tried to protect Carson Palmer, and they threw Ryan Clark in there too, because apparently Ryan Clark said something about he would love to see. Ryan Clark didn't say that LSU was recruiting Mike Tomlin. Ryan Clark said he would love to see Mike Tomlin go to LSU. That's his alma mater. That's all he said. Carson Palmer said that Mike Tomlin was on the short list of candidates for the USC job. So there were two different things being said, but they got lumped in as it pertains to Clark and Carson Palmer to say that they both were trying to recruit. That's not what Ryan Clark was doing. It was totally different. But with that being said, Tomlin went to the podium, addressed it, and kind of just shut it down and just said, and he's absolutely right. He's like, I have the best job in sports, like one of the best jobs in sports, like all sports. So why would I even give that up to go to play for college? And he said, there's not a booster in the country that has a checkbook big enough with enough zeros for me to do it. And then he said, I'm not a never say never guy, but never. He's like, but never. He's like, never say never, but never.
Yeah. And I mean, and I totally believe him, because if you look at the history of the Steelers, like we only know of three coaches throughout all of and I'm 52 years old. I only know of three coaches in 52 years.
Coward, and Tomlin.
Chuck Noll, Coward, and Tomlin. Like that's how the Steelers roll. Like they don't just run through coaches. So Tomlin know exactly what he got. He's safe. And he loves it, like he's saying. He has the best job in his mind. And he has a great job. He's very loyal to the Steelers. Yup. He ain't going nowhere, man. And the Steelers ain't planning on moving him.
And to be honest with you, this year turned around within a week from the last time I was on here, okay? Because y'all looking like y'all may have a chance this year, yo. First of all, Cleveland is falling off. I mean, I don't know if Baker's going to come back or whatever. The defense is not playing like we thought they were going to play. So the Steelers legitimately have a shot, yo.
We do for the division, but I'm just saying overall, like outside of that, when it comes to the playoffs and all, we ain't going nowhere. Stop. As of right now, the Bengals is the leader of the division. Like I don't believe in the Bengals, to be honest, because there's history just tells me, period. Like we've been playing with them for years. I just don't believe it. But I like overall, even if we did make the playoffs, it's just like, But then again, you're looking at the Chiefs, who's out here struggling. There's a couple of struggling teams over there in the AFC. So hey, man, like you never know, Cliff. Like there's no clear cut. It ain't clear cut over in there with no AFC. I mean, you could say Buffalo, but shoot, we beat Buffalo week one. So hey,
don't sleep on the Raiders, bro.
Nah,
don't sleep on the Raiders.
Not sleeping on them, but I
was at the game this week, and I tell you what, they definitely they have some playmakers, and they're definitely playing hard, for their new coach right now. I just don't think they have enough, to
not on defense
for a serious Super Bowl run. Yeah, because their defense is suspect, real leaky on the defensive side.
Not enough on defense. And then number two, I just don't think when it gets to the cold weather in a playoff game that they built for that. If they got to go out there, like if you put them out there, smash mouth with Tennessee out there, and that like Tennessee will run through the Raiders, man. I mean the Titans, like Derrick Henry will run all through them, man. Mm-hmm. In that cold weather, Derrick Henry will run through them, man.
It's gonna be that Raider team is interesting. I can't sleep on them, but I don't trust them either.
Yeah.
I just they got something to play for right now.
Yeah, I agree.
And especially with Kansas City being down, and you figure right now it looks like the Chargers is the class of that division. I mean, right now, but again, the Raiders have the same record. If they can just keep chipping away, stay on the top of the division, because Denver don't look like they're going anywhere unless somehow they get a quarterback, and Kansas City basically have to pull themselves from the bottom of the division. So and that's not going to be easy. I don't think, because that defense is suspect. Their defense is too suspect for them to be going in games thinking they can just win them.
So you guys think Dak gonna play this weekend?
I don't know. Have they announced anything? Because I saw that line flipped around. It was Cowboys minus 1.5, then it went up to 2.5. But now today it's the Vikings minus 2.5. So I don't know.
This could be a tough game. The Cowboys are actually playing against themselves because Minnesota's got good receivers. They got a good running game. Kirk Cousins, I like Dak better than Kirk Cousins, but he's been having a good year. I mean, they quietly been putting up like between like 450 and 500 yards per game on their offense. And their defense, they got I think they have like 11 different people got sacks on their squad. So they get into the quarterback. So it's gonna be it's not gonna be this is gonna be a tough game right here.
Oh, and don't forget Minnesota got with Dalvin Cook, they got a running game.
Oh, yes, I'm saying they got it all. They got it all.
They got a running game. They got Thielen out there, and they also got Jefferson.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. They got talent.
They tough, man.
They got talent. Yep. They definitely, and their losses, they lost because they fumbled one ball in week one, like late. They missed a field goal to win the game, and then got beat by a field goal against the Cardinals. And then I think somebody got them 17-14. It was a low scoring game, but the three losses they have, they could have won all three games.
Yeah, definitely that Cardinals game, because we actually performed halftime at that, and that was a good game. Like they were right there. That was a really good game.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm not sleeping on Minnesota. This is probably the week that I'm sitting there like, oh boy.
Hey man, I mean, listen, like I actually just came off of a calf injury, and I know how it could be. Like you think that it's okay. And you walk around and you walk in and you're like, oh, okay, I feel better. It's not hurting. I don't feel anything. And then you get up there and start running and do a quick move. And then you're like, oh, whoa. Mm-hmm. Time out. And that's what might happen to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, case in point, Michael Gallup, their third receiver, he's been out since week one, what was supposed to be a slight calf strain. We're 6 weeks down the road. So, again, I don't know, but for that line to flip like that, the insiders know something. So Dak may not be playing. Dak may not be playing.
He practiced. I
think he's probably playing, but everybody know potentially he gonna get out there and tweak that. That's what's gonna happen.
Okay. By the way, you good money because Bradley Beal got 21 points. So you good on that one.
Yeah. I'll probably win like $2 or something like that, but it's all good. Hey, as long as it's all about, listen, man, I got the hustler's mentality. As long as I flip my money, if I put up 15 cents, if I make 30 cents, anything else beyond that is gravy. So it's about to flip. Yeah.
I hear you.
Can't go broke making deposits. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, guys, let's go down this week's schedule and discuss what's coming up and see what's what.
Who right we got this week?
Packers and the Cardinals right now in the first quarter.
Yep.
Cardinals gonna win that game.
Yeah.
What's the score?
It's 0-0.
Devontae Adams is out. Cardinals gonna win that game.
Is Kyler Murray the best quarterback in the NFL right now?
He's playing like it.
Yeah.
You saw that pass he threw to AJ Green on the sideline in stride? In between two people down the field? Like,
that was a straight bucket, yo. Just like
who throws that pass? Who does that? Like, man.
Yo, that dude's like road runner too, man. Like when his feet just be like when he just like, man, that dude.
Yo, his
man.
cuts, his vision,
Yes.
he sees the entire field. Man, he's the full package right there, bro.
He's small, though. He's small.
He looks like he's getting better too. Every game.
He is small though.
Anybody know his official height?
I don't know. I can't see him being more than 5'11".
He got to be about 5'10", 5. No, he ain't no. He ain't 6 feet tall. He's not 6 feet tall.
Oh, somebody went out.
That was K's mic. It sounded like unless.
Okay.
No, I was saying that he ain't 6 feet tall. He's small.
Something happened with your mic, Kay.
My mic went out.
Like it's.
You sound like you're talking in the walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
Breaker 19.
You got Bengals and the Jets.
Bengals, of course.
Bengals.
Yeah, Jets quarterback out.
49ers and the Bears.
49ers. Yo, it's horrible what's happening to Justin Fields, by the way.
And I just checked. He's 5'10".
Mm.
Yeah. He's actually the shortest quarterback.
Wow.
Russell Wilson is 5'11".
He definitely ain't 6 feet tall.
He's
That's a
5'10".
small dude. That's a small dude.
Mm-hmm.
And Russell Wilson's small, but Russell Wilson might be taller than him.
Yeah, he is. Russell Wilson 5'11". He's 5'10".
Mm.
And as far, they're the smallest quarterbacks. And
so who you got between the 49ers and the Bears?
49ers.
Niners.
Well, just to give you a preview, that's my dog of the week. Bears, baby.
Well, maybe I got the Bears.
That's my dog of the week. I just
write that down.
And what's your record right now?
I think I'm if you go for both of them, I'm 7 for 7 for best bets, and I'm 6 for 7 because last week
you only lost one, I think.
Yeah, I only lost one. I didn't lose last week, but my dog of the week it came in, but it didn't win, and that was Miami. They covered that 3, but they didn't win. But I only lost one, and that was 2 weeks ago, and that was a dog of the week. This is a tough week, though. I'm nervous about this week.
Since you brought up Miami,
Mm-hmm.
Updates on Deshaun Watson? Anybody?
Yeah. He's not playing this year.
You don't think so?
The case doesn't get to trial, or like they're deposing people now, and I think the case is docketed for February 2022. So with the case still in limbo and the NFL acting the way they're acting, no one's gonna put them on the field before they know what's going on. And so February 2022 is when this thing hits the courts. So I don't see him on the field.
Is that
and he and the trade
or all 22?
And the trade has to happen before November 1st, right?
Yeah, the trade can still go down, but you still won't see him on the field. That's what I'm thinking.
But nobody's gonna trade for him not knowing what's going on.
They might.
But the fact is they may, but he doesn't necessarily have to be suspended once he gets traded. It's just teams basically not wanting to roll the dice and take the chance, because what they think is going to happen is if they trade him, they're going to be whatever team that is going to attempt to play him, and then that's when the commissioner is basically going to say ho, and then put him on a commissioner list. Because as of right now, someone can trade for him and he can play. But the whole speculation is that as soon as they make that move, then the heat is going to be put on Goodell and them to say, okay, you got to make sure something happens or whatever, and then they're going to put him on a commissioner's list. So everything
that's true. But the word is that his kind of case, they've yet to do that to those kind of cases for Goodell to jump in and do that to him. So that's why they're saying the chances of him probably getting moved are high, because they don't think that Goodell will come in and do that. At least they don't think, because they haven't done it with no past cases of that magnitude yet.
I think y'all both are right, and I think the trade's gonna happen, and I think then what Cliff said is gonna happen too. Like, the commissioner hasn't had any precedence to do what you're saying, Kay, but I think in this situation and the heat he's gonna get from ownership, because that, again, look, Deshaun Watson didn't have this issue when he got NFL money. Deshaun Watson had this issue in Clemson, and everybody has a folder, an envelope that they hide until they need the envelope, and they pull that envelope out on Deshaun, and those owners are going to side with the ownership of the Houston Texans, and they're going to see to it that he does not play. And Steve,
so you feel like that the commissioner is going to be pressured by everybody to go and do it regardless at this point. Okay.
And that pressure may come from a couple of different angles, because like Wes said, it may, and more than likely, it's definitely going to come from the owner's side of it. But then again, let's just say there's some maverick out there, owner, who said, forget y'all, I'm still going to play him. Then you may have pressure from the fan bases to the league and to Goodell saying, why is they let this happen in the whole 9 yards? Sort of like the same blow up with a Gruden, how, it first came out over the weekend and no one spoke anything about it. But then once it got legs and once all these other groups hear about it, then that's when the outside pressures come. So the first thing has to happen is someone has to make a move and allow the trade.
Somebody got to trade him. But Steve Ross is an interesting candidate because he's not in bed with all the other owners. He's one of those. There's like about 5 to 7 owners that just kind of they blow in the wind. They blow in the wind. And Steve Ross is one of those dudes. So what happens is he makes the trade because he's a maverick, and all the other owners are like Jerry. They're gonna be down with Jerry Jones and the Texans family. Or as if we watch Ballers, they're gonna be down with the big boss man. and that's how it's going. That's how it's going to end up happening. So it's really unfortunate. When I saw that February date, I was like, that man ain't gonna touch the field.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yep.
And in terms of the criminal cases against him,
you know what it is too. Like, I was talking about this the other day with some cats, and the first thing they said was that he's got to know better, and we don't disagree with that, right? We can all agree that he's got to pick his spots a little bit more carefully, being in the position that he's in. But it's almost as if I just want to see how the case is structured, because I'm still trying to figure out what the case is. Like, what did he do that was considered assault? Because assault is a strong word, right? Whether it be verbal assault or physical assault, I need to know what sexual assault is. Got to be some type of words that are inappropriate or some type of action that was inappropriate. So we gotta wait and see. That's my point. I just want to, but it's too many cases. That's the problem. You can't really wrap your hands around it because there's so many of them.
And what did you mean by the folder dating back to Clemson?
Well, I'm just saying that his habits aren't new. Like, anybody who does things, they're gonna be doing things for a long time, and they knew this about him. They probably knew that Deshaun is a young man. So they probably had this file. They vetted these cats out like they vet the president. You see what I'm saying? And then when it's time to bring out the information, that's what they're gonna drop it on you.
Right.
That's what I'm pretty much saying. It's like they used it for their interest for this rainy day.
Go get the black file on Watson. Oh,
yeah, get the file on Watson. We got him.
He likes
He
the rub downs.
Yeah.
He likes the rub downs.
He likes things to be happy.
Okay, go get that.
Yeah, can I take it a step further? We're seeing concierge to make sure you get the rub down and who you go to. We gonna hook you up with the network. Matter of fact, my girl, my girl is something else. I'm gonna send you my girl.
Yep. He said he likes the rub downs.
Listen, man, I just want to see where all the rest of those emails is at. How about the rest of those emails?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All I want to see, because how come like with all of those emails, you only got one person? One person ain't sending all those emails.
Yeah. Well, there's a criminal case brewing against the right? Is that against the Redskins?
Yeah.
Against the Redskins.
Emails pertaining to that actual investigation.
Yeah, that's where it all started from, the whole Redskins thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it was. I showed. I think I told Hakim about that list of the Wonderlic test list.
Yeah.
And it just kind of supports the how the testers kind of have to be biased, because there was like 22 names on the list that got a higher than a 31, and I think like anything over like a 30 is supposed to be pretty good, and there were only a person of color that was on that list was Colin Kaepernick. And he was raised by a white family, right? Because he was adopted. Is that true?
Right.
So it's just kind of funny. You can't just tell me that every black quarterback is just dumb. You can't. You just can't make that assessment. But that test is like we gotta look at that test with like an eyebrow in the air.
Yes, culturally biased.
Well, if we've had culturally biased educational tests in the school system for years. And
Wonderlic is no different.
Listen, and the plight to keep the brothers out of the quarterback position has been a normal plight since the NFL started. Obviously, the Wonderlic test is culturally biased. I mean, that only makes sense.
It's so funny. Look at the list.
It's for us.
It was, and then I told Hakim that Mel Kiper had an interview about Lamar Jackson, and in a tweet, it's actually a tweet that it said he was talking to GMs around the NFL, and the worry about Lamar Jackson and drafting him was that he was erratic in terms of his completion percentage. He only completed 57% of his passes, so you gotta respect that. The general managers know what they're talking about. Then someone asked him in that same draft, because Josh Allen was in the same draft. They said, what about Josh Allen? He has a 56% completion ratio. And they said, Mel Kiper said, stats are for idiots. This guy's a winner. Yo, you can't make this up. You know what I'm saying? Like the same draft, two different quarterbacks. One guy, Louisville, won a Heisman. Louisville was like 13 and 10 and 1 or 10 and 2. I don't know what they were. Their record was great. And this other one went to Wyoming, who wasn't on anybody's radar at all. But they were sitting there saying that he's a winner and he had a lower completion percentage than the one you said couldn't pass.
Mm-hmm.
Mel Kiper, the man that makes billions now, doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. I was cracking up. It was hilarious.
No, it's the narrative. It's the same thing.
Cardinals up 7-0.
Oh, that's gonna be a. I don't think Green Bay wins that game, like you guys said. Did we hit them more? Who you got? Who you got? Kay, Dallas or Minnesota?
Minnesota. I know y'all be wanting me. Y'all want me to bet against the Cowboys, so it's basically like that's automatically gonna give y'all a W.
Nah, I don't like when people that I like you to be honest with it. So, I'm uncomfortable right now. Everybody liking the Cowboys.
I think to be honest, I think the Cowboys will actually like I said. I I told y'all the Patriots. I thought the Patriots would beat y'all, and they almost did. It was a close one. And I think that with Dak being hurt, I just think that something's going to go wrong, and I think the Vikings going to get him. If Dak was fine, I would be like Cowboys going to beat the Vikings. But I think something's actually still wrong with Dak, and I think the Vikings going to end up getting him. We'll see.
What about the Colts and the Titans? That's another good game.
Colts and Titans. That's a toss-in right there. I don't know.
Titans all day, bro.
Where's the game?
Is it Indianapolis?
Colts. That the Colts are gonna win just because of that line. That line is telling you Colts gonna win. It's no way the Titans shouldn't be favorite after everything they've been doing. So for that to only be a 1.5 point, it's begging you to play the Titans. I bet you Colts win that game. That was almost going to be my best bet, but it didn't make it. Almost, but I like the Colts that game.
I like the Colts too. In Indianapolis, I like the Colts.
Yeah. I actually like the Colts in that game myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who the Steelers got this week?
The Cleveland Browns.
And they're getting points, and actually, Kay, that was also going to be what my dog of the week, because I think Pittsburgh gets them. I think they get them.
We're gonna get them.
I think Pittsburgh wins that game.
I do too.
What about I'm not even gonna mention that one. The Rams and the Texans. We already know who's winning that game.
Oh God, please.
What about this? Is an interesting game. The Eagles and the Lions. Did the Lions get their first victory?
It could happen since they're at home, but I like the Eagles though. I like
the Eagles too.
I like the Eagles too. I don't think the Lions gonna beat them.
Panthers, Falcons.
I'm going with the Lions, by the way.
Okay.
I got the Falcons in that one.
I got Panthers.
I'm gonna go the Falcons in that one. Dolphins and the Bills.
Bills.
Dolphins will keep it close though. That's a big number, I think, but the Dolphins will keep it close, I think.
Yeah, I got another interesting game. Seattle with no Russell and the Jaguars.
Seattle.
I think.
I
think Geno get his first win.
The Jags are coming off. Yeah, they're coming off that. They had a long layoff, right?
They played Miami in London, and then they had a bye this past week.
Yeah, so they got 2 weeks off almost.
Man, let me tell you, Urban Meyer, he went to church every Sunday since that incident, because he had Gruden happen right after that. That took him off the radar. Then they won the game in London, so he was out of the country. Then they had a bye, and now they come back. So Urban Meyer been like, "Yo, the pressure's off me."
Oh yeah, he's feeling good.
Urban
He's
Meyer
feeling like the invisible man.
Yep. Buccaneers and Saints.
That's gonna be a good game, man. That's gonna be a good game.
The Saints may keep it close, but I like the Buccaneers.
I'm gonna take the underdog. I'm gonna take the Saints in that game.
I'm gonna take the Saints in that game. What you got, Hawk?
Said the Bucks.
The Bucks. Okay, so 2 Bucks, 2 Saints, and the Patriots and the Chargers.
That's my pick of the week. Best bet.
Best bet.
Chargers. My best bet.
Broncos and the Skins.
Is it at Denver?
Is it Mile High?
Oh, Broncos.
Ooh, that's
I think the Redskins get them.
I'm gonna go Redskins too. I think Redskins.
I'm gonna go Redskins. And then the Monday night game, the barn burner, the Giants at the Chiefs.
Oh God!
Chiefs will win, but the Giants gonna keep it close. Watch.
Chiefs gonna.
What is
win.
that? A 10-point spread?
9. Yes, 9.
Yeah, I bet the Giants keep it close. Chiefs can't blow nobody out.
Where's that game at? Chiefs gonna win.
It's in KC.
I'm
Chiefs.
going Chiefs.
Definitely. Chiefs winning that game.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
All right, so we all agree that the Chiefs are gonna win. That's consensus. Who took the Broncos?
I did.
Oh no, Hawk did.
Hawk took the Broncos. I'm just gonna write this down so I can have it for next time. Broncos, all Chiefs. Buccaneers, we split, right?
Yeah.
Saints, we split.
Yeah.
Patriots, Chargers, we all said Chargers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Titans, Colts, we split, right?
I said the Titans.
I said Colts.
I said Colts.
I said Colts too. So it's okay. So Hawk was the only one. Hawk had the Titans. Steelers and Browns. I had the Steelers.
I got the Steelers.
Not Steelers.
Okay, so that's nobody there. Everybody took the Rams. Falcons and Panthers.
Falcons.
I got Panthers.
I'm gonna go with the Panthers.
So that was the split. Dolphins and Bills.
Bills.
Yep, we also Bills. Eagles, Lions.
I got Eagles.
Lions.
Hawk took the Lions. Bears and 49ers.
49ers.
I have
Bears. Bears, that's my dog of the week.
Cliff got the Bears. And then the game today, we got Cardinals and Packers. We all said the Cardinals. And Vikings, Cowboys.
Vikings.
Cowboys.
K took the Vikings.
You got me on the island.
And Bengals and Jets. Everybody got the Bengals?
Bengals.
Okay. So Hakeem has the Browns, Colts, and Lions by himself. Cliff has the Bears by himself. And K got the Vikings by himself. And then we split on the Bucks, Saints, and Panthers, Falcons. Everything else is we all got the same thing.
Meanwhile, Green Bay's in the red zone.
Yeah, I saw that my little red dot went on my phone. They in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So who y'all got for the World Series?
Atlanta.
I want Dusty to get it, but Atlanta looking like they might take it. But I'm rooting for Dusty, so I'm gonna just stay with it. I'm gonna just go with Dusty. I don't like the Astros for what they've been doing or whatever they tactics and they, whatever. But I'm rooting for Dusty, so I'm just going for the Astros.
Yeah, I can't root for the Astros, yo. I can't. Although they're lined up the best because right now Atlanta's pitching's in bad shape. They have to go with a couple bullpen games at the least right now. So it's looking like the Astros are going to take it, but I'm rooting for Atlanta.
Yeah, I want to root for Dusty, obviously, but it's hard. But I'm still going to stay Dusty. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, go Atlanta.
That's the same thing. I do feel like that because of the Astros, man. But I'm just rooting for Dusty, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'll fall in line and root for Dusty too.
They were talking about, especially because they were talking about the other day, that they don't think that he definitely would need this championship to get him in the Hall of Fame and a bunch of different stuff or whatever. I'm rooting for him.
Yeah.
Well, he's the only manager to take 4 different teams or 5 different teams to the postseason. I think it was like that.
Yeah, but they're like all of the managers and everybody that's in is multiple winners. He would definitely need a chip to get him in there.
Yeah, he got 2,000 wins too as a manager. It's crazy.
How many championships he has? Just one?
He doesn't have any.
He don't have none.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he never won with the Giants. Bruce Bochy did. He didn't win with the Reds. He didn't win with the Cubs.
Nope.
Madden won with the Cubs.
I thought he got one with the Giants.
Nah,
he didn't.
Bochy did.
Yeah, he didn't. That's why I'm riding for Dusty.
Yeah,
and he was lost for him too. He lost with the Nationals too. Dave Martinez got it.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Dusty.
Yeah,
gotta root for the brother.
Gotta root.
Yeah, gotta. I was hoping it was Dave Roberts was gonna be my choice with Dusty, so I could pick either one. But I ought to pick Dave Roberts. but yeah. So Cliff, I'm gonna ask you one last question, a Yankee question. Would you want the Yankees to sign Alex Correa? or Carlos Correa?
Yeah, I mean he's a baller. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He is a. You may not like his attitude and where he comes from and all that, but he is a baller. Yo. He's straight. I mean,
I can't disagree with you.
How can you resist that talent?
It would be just so. I mean, this would probably be for me living here in Houston. As much as I talk about Correa, the way it would be such a pill to swallow if he became a Yankee, man. Oh, but he would be just like electric, like A-Rod coming to New York.
But the Yankees are talking about trying to get him.
Yeah.
That would be huge.
Yeah, they're trying to get him, but it's gonna cost them $300 million.
Since when the Yankees cared about that?
You got it, bro.
Yeah. So the Knicks are 55-51 at the half. I'm gonna give you one last Washington Wizard update. And NBA 109-97 with 6 minutes left in that game.
Who?
The Hawks are down 12.
The Hawks are down?
Yeah.
To the Wizards?
Yeah.
Get on them.
Beal got 25 and 6 and 6. Montrezl Harrell 21, 12 and 5.
Wow.
Caldwell Pope 18, 6 and 2.
What about Kuzma?
Kyle Kuzma 19 and 6.
Wow.
Yeah, they balling. Those DC Wizards doing their thing.
Wow. Look there.
The
LA Wizards.
The Los Angeles Wizards?
The LA Wizards.
You know, it's crazy because they picked up a dude from their D-League team too, the Wizards. They picked up this guy from the kid from Gonzaga, Ajayi. He was on the Lakers camp and he went to the Wizards. He's on their team now too.
Damn.
Okay.
The Sixers are killing the Pistons. The Rockets are getting thrashed by the Jazz. Bulls and Knicks are 4 points at half. Mavericks are up on the Spurs early. And the Spurs up on the Mavericks early.
Oh,
and
wow.
The Grizzlies are play the Warriors in a little while.
Okay.
That Grizzly Warriors game is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So we got a little schedule, so we can circle back around next week.
Okay.
What happened?
Yeah.
All
right.
Yeah, man. Good seeing y'all.
Yep.
Sports, y'all.
All right.
All right, guys. Peace.
Peace.
Shut up.
Peace, everybody.
I'm good.